I'm swinging in the swing right now, and there is a smell to rain, you guys. If you've noticed it, I'm telling you guys, no, I always smell the same thing when it rains. There's a smell to rain. Anyway, yeah. I don't think it has anything to do with my eyes. Anyway, it's my nose, so. Yeah, just chilling. I had on a sweatpants outfit because I had on jeans earlier, but we were out. But then I got a little cold inside. And, you know, it's kind of funny. It gets kind of coolish at night, but then hot in the daytime. So I would never wear this outside in the daytime. Ever. But they're in there hanging out. My mom and I came out here for a few minutes. My grandma's been here. Heath Bar's inside. And, yeah. We're just hanging out. Today we had Starbucks. No. And Chick-fil-A.
You gonna leave it out here?
Yeah. And it was good. And we're going to do dinner here in a little bit. And I've been randomly filming this week. I'm trying my best to... Whoa, okay.
You don't want me to take this in?
No. Wait, look. Okay, anyway. So that's what's going on right now. It's starting to kind of rain out here a little bit. I'm trying to see if I smell rain yet. I do, actually.
I smell rain.
Yeah. Do you smell rain?
No.
There's a smell to rain.
Oh, smell it.
There is a smell. Here I am in my luxurious spot. So I know I keep saying, oh, I forgot to mention this or mention that from the eye doctor appointment the other day. But forgive me, I wasn't feeling great for a few days. I'm back up and running, but that was super rough and I was down for a little bit, but now I'm a lot better. But anyway, I get so excited when I see something new, but it's overwhelming in a good way. But when you go to the eye doctor too, it takes a minute to process what they've said, and remember everything that they told you. And I usually don't forget. But anyway, so my vision, actually, the eye doctor says he doesn't believe that my actual stable, functional vision, I believe, has not changed from like literally my entire life. Obviously we've had some flare-ups and stuff, and that's not because my vision was changing. That was my eyes had cornea issues, and that was a serious thing. But that's not because my eyes were not good. When you have something like retinal chromatopsia like me, not many people, this is not the case for hardly probably anyone, and we've never really run into a case like this. We've seen people with ROP, we've seen people with little person syndrome, we've seen people with a chromatopsia, and as we're talking to the eye doctor, we're learning so much more and more, and it's super helpful. But my situation, they're kind of intertwined because I was a preemie, so we can't really, take away those facts of when I was a preemie, I had a lot of medical issues, and therefore blindness is just part of that. But also there's other symptoms that are so noticeable. So I have color deficiency. I don't see a lot of colors. I see colors in different shades, but that's just how I see them. The hardest part, honestly, of me being blind is not even doing tasks. It's trying to figure things out in the sunlight. That is literally if I ever need sighted guide, it's going to be in the sunlight or in a very, very, in a store where it's fluorescent lights. I don't necessarily, I don't do sighted guide all the time. But I'm just saying, if there's ever a time where I prefer it, because I don't feel like sighted guide is a bad thing to do, as long as you have your white cane with you and you're still independent. But for me, when I do sighted guide, I prefer to do it when it's really bright inside somewhere that I'm not completely familiar with, or just the lights are literally just burning my eyes, or out in the sunlight. That's when I prefer it, because it just is so hard to see and I can't see that well. But I'll be excited when I get my new glasses. So anyway, yeah, my vision didn't change. It's been stable my whole life. It's just sometimes we had some rocky patches there, but we got them under control. And I'm excited to say, for the first time in 30 plus years, in 2 years, I've not needed eye drops for my eyes. I've not had any inflammation. I've not had any infections. And that we are so, so, so grateful for. And my vision has improved because at the eye doctor, what I saw this time was better than last time, even with those silly little eye blockers, which I need to remember next year. Note to self, in a year, hopefully I'll remember. I'll have to go back to this video. Note to self. Remind them you don't use the little thing that goes over your glasses. You just don't. Anyway, so that's really hard for people who are low vision. Anyway, but all in all, I just want to say, like, you know, I like to spread awareness simply because it's just, my life is so different from everyone else's, but it's not at the same time. It's, you know, I live the same life. I have the same feelings and emotions like everyone else. It's just that my sometimes things are a little different, and that's okay. And that's just what we're used to in our family. And so anyone who loves me for who I am, like my family, my boyfriend, my friends, you know, that's what means the most. I'm also gonna ask, so I'm very curious. I've been around so many blind and visually impaired people, obviously, with me having a lot of friends and family members. I'm very curious, like, what someone who has had a lot of vision before, and then didn't have, you know, pretty much lost a lot, is that easier to... Is it easier, do you think it would be easier to be born blind, or do you think it'd be easier to lose it? I think it'd be easy, I think it would be, that wasn't the way I was supposed to say that. I think it would be harder. No, that might have been the way to say it. Anyway, whatever. So I personally think it would be so much harder to have vision and lose it. Some people think, oh, it'd be easier because you'd already have the skills. And that is correct. You know, obviously, I think certain things can maybe make more sense because you do have you know, the visual mind of how did things used to go, you know, you remember seeing things, and so that is helpful. So I will say because myself, I've experienced almost losing my vision, again, not because my eyes were not stable, because we ran into some cornea issues that we got under control, thankfully, but, you know, I think that also when you are born blind, that is what you know. So not to say that you don't have challenges. I definitely think there are challenges with that as well, that I don't even understand, because I can see some. So, like, you know, there's certain things I don't understand. And I think that when you lose it, though, you may have the visual memory, but that doesn't make it any easier. That almost makes it harder for the fact that you have to kind of relearn. And so that's my opinion, but we'll find out from Heath when I ask him, because he does have retinitis pigmentosa, and he used to be able to see a whole lot, and now he sees a little bit. Okay, we have Heath here holding the camera.
I got this.
And so I told you guys that I would bring him on and ask him, is it easier if someone is born blind versus someone who has a lot of sight and loses it later on in life? I'll let him tell you.
Well, apparently we weren't filming the first time.
This doesn't even matter, but okay.
Doesn't matter. But anyways, I believe it is easier when you're born blind instead of losing it later on in life, because it's just a lot harder transition-wise. You have a lot harder time, and people have emotions.
Yeah.
I was mad and angry, and
if you're not mad at him when you lose your sight, that's a little
didn't
weird.
didn't want to learn anything. They try to teach me at school for blind, and
he was in high school, by the way. So I mean, this was 20-something years ago.
Yes, I was 15.
He has an eye condition called
retinitis pigmentosa.
Yeah, so it's a progressive eye condition.
It is, yes, and it's hereditary. But somehow nobody else in my family has it, so who knows?
So when you found out you were going blind, what did you do about it?
I did what I had to do. I went to school for blind.
And you're mad to go to the school for blind?
I was, because I didn't want to go. I didn't want to give up playing football.
Yeah. So what did you, like, whenever you went and saw those blind people, were you in shock, or like or were you just like, okay, I don't want to be like this, or?
I was kind of just a loner. I was by myself for
You were probably numb.
for the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. I was by myself. I didn't really talk to nobody.
Well, you obviously changed.
Well, yeah. Eventually, you get to the point where it helps. I mean, and honestly, I'll be honest with you, the one kids that were there, Johnny and Dominique and all them that were not only sighted problems, but also mental.
Oh, they probably had like the slower.
Yeah, yes.
They were in the ECE
I don't know
program.
I don't know how
saying.
to put it where not sounding.
They had like
bad.
cerebral palsy.
Yeah,
and stuff,
or something like that.
That's part of your brain. That.
Well, yes, I understand that, but just to see how happy they were every day,
Aww.
that kind of helped because
The
it's like,
special education kids, as he's talking.
yeah, because it was
about.
like, man, if they can be happy, why can't I be? I'm just blind. They're
So,
blind to everything else, so that helped. But yeah, I think it's more difficult when you have sight and lose it.
I would
instead of
agree, because
being
I feel like
blind.
you would have to like relearn, even though you can visually.
Okay,
you
take
ha-
the camera back, please.
You have. You.
Thank you.
I feel like even though you remember stuff, what you saw, you still have to.
Yes.
You're not physically seeing it anymore like you used to. Like, he has some vision, but not what he used to. So, it's okay. But I feel like you have to, like, picture in your mind what things look like, but also you've learned
True.
other ways, too. Like,
Yes.
okay, so I can't see it like I used to, so I remember it's supposed to be like this. So now I have to figure out a way to,
Yes.
to figure out a way to
I would agree with that.
find
yes.
out if, like, my food is done or something. And now he is leaps and bounds cooking me dinner and spoiling me because I'm entitled.
Well, I had to take care of my woman.
Just kidding. Oh, that's so sweet. I have to take care of my man, especially bringing him like Chick-fil-A
That's what a
surprises.
gentleman does.
Oh, that's so true. Anyway, the moral of the story is, though, seriously, guys, blindness is not a competition. It is not. You're either born blind, or you're visually impaired, or whatever your eye condition is. It's not like, some people are like, oh, you can see this, or oh, you can see that, or they can't stomach, some things, and I get it. I totally get it. But in all reality, we are all human, and you're gonna have some people with some conditions, eye conditions, that you're gonna experience the same symptoms, but your conditions are totally different, or everything's just gonna be different for the two people. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But regardless, blindness is not a competition. So be kind.
Exactly.
Be nice.
Play it.